Shit. Poor blade. Well, I think it's still fine. If not, I bought gazillion of these blades. Gazillion? Really? So many? So I leveled my bed once more. It's an annoying job. What is more annoying is even replacing it. I mean, I think I still have one go at it. So now it's fine for like a few months, maybe less. Actually, it should be less, but then I shave off 1 millimeter once more. You can see I drilled quite some holes in this thing by now. But at least it's flat again. Because my last stuff I CNC'd, especially depth of cut, is going everywhere. So over a distance of only 10 centimeters or something, it changed a lot, which screwed up my, well, not product, but screwed up the item I was making. So now hopefully it should be consistent. It's milled flat with the CNC itself, so it should be parallel to the cutter head. Hopefully. But still, I mean, it remains MDF. Although this MDF is like the slightly water resistant MDF, and I really like it. It's the best. It's really nice stuff. Since this is over a year in the shed now, without turning to mush or became thicker like normal MDF would. So expensive MDF is so much nicer to work with. Might not be a surprise to most, but it was for me that the difference was so big. Still, I will buy cheap MDF for some stuff. I mean, this is like really twice as expensive, maybe triple even, I don't know. There's here a corner still that I want to get rid of that is sticking out. That's gone. So I want to make a few frames to see if I can mount the coil on there. I use my favorite material. It's called HPL. And it's actually a too expensive HPL to be used for this kind of stuff, because it's black all the way through. Normally it has a brownish center. This is black throughout, which you pay more for. And I bought it for stuff that were, well, stuff you would see. For this tweeter kind of stuff, I really don't care which kind of color is inside. But I don't have any other material, so this is what I'm gonna use. And used many times now. So I wasted a lot of this nice material, but I don't have enough money to buy a new piece. Eventually this will run out. This is the last sheet I have. And when I run out, I need to buy it. Even if I don't want to. The clamps I use is really weird. It's this foam aluminium sandwich stuff. It's also looking really nice. Well, not this one of course, but you can get it in brushed steel and such. Really nice material. But it works like clamps really well, since it's kind of a soft clamp. And I use them for, these are just offcuts. And I used it as clamps for like a year or something. Maybe 2 years by now. So they work as a clamp really nicely. And if you position them wrong, the CNC won't have any trouble just cutting through them. I'd rather waste this than another cutter. Unless it hits the screw, of course, then the cutter breaks. It's like 500 degrees in here. So I'm gonna strip down a little bit. Damn, this is hot. We need a spindle, I think. One problem with my spindle is that since the temperature is so high, the spindle overheats, and the reason is their bearings are quite shitty from when I bought it new. I tested it and I was like, ooh, those bearings are really hot. Bearings that are sitting in here, I think they're really shitty, and that's why they run so hot. And if it's hot outside, they get like cooking hot. So probably I screw up the bearings even harder. So I wonder when this spindle stops working, or at least the bearings are. This middle screw is really nice. It's not to fasten the spindle. It has screw thread in this part instead of this part, and the reason is the clamp is like a little bit undersized, so without even using these screws, the spindle sits in here. It doesn't go anywhere. If you want to release it, you screw this one in and it will make the hole larger so you can release the spindle. It's quite a nifty idea, otherwise you don't have enough hands to mount the spindle on your own. So I'm not gonna tighten these too much, since it's held by the clamp itself, even without screws. I noticed that these Chinese Allen thingies are kind of getting worn out, so might need to replace them. At least I hope it's the screws or the bolts themselves and not the screw thread, which could be as well, hopefully not, but I mean that's not so nice. Might need to replace this collet nut once. I mean, it's the one I got from the Chinese seller. It's also funny, I was a kind of spindle noob. Well, I still am, but I received this nut and I was like, what the fuck? It has all kinds of drill holes in the nut. What happened? People said, yeah, duh, it's to balance the nut. I didn't know. I felt kind of dumb. Well, now you know, if you didn't know already, like most people do. So it's a balanced screw, although I wonder how balanced that is. You can balance the screw, but if this is crooked, it doesn't help much. And it is a bit crooked. I measured the run out once and it wasn't too great. Okay for my uses, but definitely not great. I mean, it's the old package, the spindle and the inverter, which still lives, which is a wonder on its own, was like 400 euros or something. So not, you know, it's a lot of money, but it's not comparable to a real spindle. I mean, that's cheap. Dirt cheap. Maybe next one, if I ever got the money, would be a Techno motor, which is a brand that is more locally available, which is a little bit more expensive, but then at least you got a better spindle as well. Although the 2 kilowatt version would be rather expensive. I might not need 2 kilowatts. 1.5 would be enough, I think. It's nice to have a flat spoil board once more. It's gonna be nice. So let's hit it. Now I can see how much I cut like deeper than the material is, and I can see how much deeper that is. I could adjust that a little bit to not hurt the spoil board as much. It is something I do because normally my table is not that flat. So I want to make sure I cut all the way through. In this case, I know it will because the whole thing is flat right now. So might need to adjust that to keep the spoil board a little bit nicer looking for a longer time. So long story, but also I'm not gonna remove it because I'm gonna see if I can fit a magnet in there. Because I had it like pressure fit, but it was a lot of pressing and not much fitting, and I don't know, I don't like it. So now it's loosey goosey, although it sits in there. Sometimes it's easier to just see what it does instead of drawing it. I mean, I've drawn this thing many times and it just doesn't fit nicely. Not sure why. I mean, the thing measures exactly 3mm wide. My cutter does cut exactly 3mm wide. Except when I use it like this, it somehow is smaller, which is, well, you would think that is impossible. At least I would think. But somehow it is. Now I'm gonna see how much room I got on both sides. So I might use it, I don't know. But first I'm gonna change this to make it a little bit less wide. See how it fits. And it's unfortunate I have to screw up all this material. The best thing would be make it a lot smaller, and then I can at least adjust it back until it fits. That would save me some material instead of going a tiny bit less wide and discover it still doesn't fit. Or, I mean, it fits, but it's too loose. Jeez, what an idea. So, we get our magnets, and now the thing is, does it even fit? I don't think so. Can't say I was afraid of that, I kind of knew that it wouldn't fit. No, so that's too much. So now I'll make it a little bit wider, step by step. And it would fit if I like push it in real hard, which is something I didn't want to, so better, but not there. So and it's done again, then we check it again, then we do it once more. Or is this the final fit? No. I've seen this shot a gazillion times now. It's every time the same. Can we finally stop this, because I've been running like 5-6 times back and forth. You see, it comes really, now it's too loosey-goosey. Now I cannot fix that anymore. Although some aren't. This might be it. Well, let's do the outline. Outline. Boom. Bada boom, bada bang. I could make it work, but just to not be confused which one is which, I'll just throw it away. By the looks of it, this bit is kind of done for. It breaks out the backside, which is not cool. Might be because it's plunging too fast and pushing out the whatever it's called. Cannot pronounce it. Sides look really nice for one cut. Not even a finished cut. So yeah, might need to change that. The depth, I'm gonna check how deep this is. Might gonna change that as well. Not for now, because it's not crucial for the working. 1.26. I opted for 1.3, and the distance only gonna be like 1 millimeter or less. But at least this ridge here is equal on both sides, which was not the case when the table was completely screwed. So now I'm gonna add these magnets and try my thingy-me-jiggy.